Hello, everyone. Welcome, one and all, to Sparta TV. This is the Android Netrunner Malaysian Regionals for 2015, held at Spartan Games Arena. This is Game 5 of the top 8 cut for the tournament, featuring Hong Ching as Noise playing on the runner side and Bernard on the corporation side as Replicating Perfection. My name is Richard,
My name is Calvin.
and we'll be your host for today. So, first of all, this is a monster game. It's a very, very long game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a monster in every sense of the word. I feel like this is one of the best games of Netrunner that I have been privileged to witness. Because I was there,
Mm.
right? I watched this game live, and oh my god, what a
Oh, you were
yeah
there?
yeah I was there. I was watching this. I am slightly behind and to the right of the runner at the moment.
Mm.
And what I also really like is that this match basically represents what the regionals. This is kind of like a microcosm of the entire regionals, right? It's Noise versus RP, and these were the two like titanic decks of the meta
Yeah, they
game
were
at that
they
time.
were very rampant. I think RP wasn't so much, but Noise was everywhere.
Yeah, Noise is a very strong deck, and now we get to see just why it's so strong and how a
Mm.
skilled pilot can really take advantage of the deck.
Yeah, we're looking at the two of the top players in the tournament right
Yeah,
now. Both
this is the was it loser
Game 5,
bracket?
I think, would be the second to last game or second to last game or third to last game.
Loser bracket finals, right?
Yeah,
Which of these players was undefeated? Is it the runner or the corp going into?
I think it was Hong Ching, runner.
Okay, run
I think so.
right.
Okay, but just have to note that these two players are incredible. They've been very consistent and they've been in the community for a very long time. And Bernard is a very seasoned replicating perfection player. He's been playing RP for I think close to over a year or maybe more
Yeah,
now.
very very long time. RP is his go-to corp. He's a very
Methodical player.
methodical, conservative, defensive. These are all not bad things, right?
Very calculated player, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. His table etiquette is to die for, man. I wish I had table etiquette as good as Bernard's.
Oh yes.
Viewers will see what I mean.
Mm. Of course, Hong Ching has been I haven't really identified a specific deck with him yet, but he's always played extremely well no matter what ID he runs.
Yeah. Hong Ching is very calm, very collected, very cool dude.
Mm.
I like him a lot. I like both these
Yeah.
guys a lot. I'm really glad that we have players like them in our local meta.
Yeah, definitely. I think the level of play right here is extremely high by any standard, and of course both of them are using their
They're brand new,
well-deserved
regionals
playmats.
playmats that they just won here. for getting
Featuring
to top.
Reina Roja, who was nowhere in sight this entire tournament. I think probably because she was getting arrested. And yeah, they are. To note for the viewers' attention, this game is being played at 12 a.m. that night, and they've been up since 10 a.m. knocking out games non-stop. I think both of these players have played 10 or more games each. I think this might be their 10th game.
Mm.
And it's amazing to see how, despite the fatigue and despite the entire long day and the stress, right, they are still able to maintain their concentration.
But you can tell that Bernard is tired because that is an extraordinarily sloppy table shuffle for Bernard standards.
Oh,
This is a guy who, to calm his nerves in between rounds, he will table shuffle, right? So you can tell he's table shuffled like a million times, and even then, you could see that his card placement was a tiny bit sloppy there. But like you said, like it's been an extraordinarily long game for these guys. With
small details to show the amount of stress and grinding that their nerves are going through right
oh
now.
man, yeah, the last time I got to top 8, it was also like a real grind, and I started making like really stupid errors in my game. It's just like, oh yeah, why did I do that? That I should not have done that. That was really dumb.
And so after 5 minutes of rambling, the game has finally started
Yeah,
after the
I love
mulligan.
the RP. I love RP actually. I think that it's a really like I would rather play against RP than Fruitfoots, right?
It is the definition of what Jinteki is. I think it's the ID that most accurately personifies Jinteki's entire reason for being, which is word compression.
Yeah, make the runner do bad decisions.
Mm. And in RP's case, I think Jinteki, ever since their bounce back since Honor and Profit, since the Honor and Profit pack, they've been doing quite well at the entire word compression game, forcing runners to make bad decisions. RP, of course, the games from RP tend to be a bit longer, so they grind on the patience a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. But of course, going against Noise and looking at Hong Ching's first few moves, he looks like he has a very solid opening.
Yeah, Data Sucker, Aesop's daily cast draw. Yeah, just I don't know that you could ask for a much better opening as Noise. Maybe a wild side in there lah.
Wild side, adjusted chronotype,
Yeah.
daily cast. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. No, but you start the mill off early, right? You remind RP that yes, the mill will happen.
Yeah.
But on the same side, it does seem like a pretty strong start off in RP land. You have your Sundews.
He's getting that drip economy running.
Yeah, 3 credits a turn. I wonder if Noise is going to challenge that with his. I mean, he's got his Aesops. He did just sell a Data Sucker.
Having observed some of Bernard's plays for some time now, I noticed that he always tries to secure a server with a Sundew in order to order the text or discourage the runner from actually taking it out, because 2 credits a turn is really solid.
Yeah.
And Hong Ching is going down with the small little viruses, the really lovely mills, and he's getting a lamprey out, and that threatens his HQ right now.
I don't know if he's going to actually go into HQ so much. It seems like Noise is doing more of a setup play at the moment. I think he's trying to raise RP, right? Because I think his rationale is this: if RP is a long deck, right? So if you try to be over aggressive as Noise and it doesn't pay off, like you don't get any agenda steals and you can't trash their stuff, you're in trouble, right? Because RP is off to the races. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, alluding to that fact, looking at Hong Ching's build throughout the entire tournament, right? It's he is a very. This is a definition of a tier 1 deck, because he's capable of switching gears. You know, he gears up for a long game against RP, but against a fast game, he does very well as well. He decides to make very pivotal moves, and of course he's got those 2 daily casts running, and the daily cast has added synergy with his Aesop's Pawn Shop. So both players are essentially playing a drip economy right now.
Yeah, that's another Sundew. Is he going to protect it? Yeah, there it goes.
2 Sundews, yep. And Bernard setting up as well. And we always note that Bernard always notifies his moves by placing the credits spent on certain moves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the table etiquette. He put the credit to install on the card itself.
You definitely remember each and every move that he makes in order to be more attentive to the details, because Netrunner is just a game where you have 1,001 things happening, and if any one thing goes wrong, if any one detail gets missed out,
it's like, did I pay a credit to install the card? It's like, yeah, I totally did. It's on the card.
And so Hong Ching makes the second run. He first checked out the
archives.
He first checked out the archives,
but
now
he's hit an architect.
Headlong into an architect, which is never nice, because you never want to let RP get those free installs.
I'm feeling like RP is taking advantage of the fact that, let's be honest, right? Noise runs 1 breaker, and that breaker is Faust. Right? I mean, they'll have Mimic in the deck as a backup option, but Faust, I think Bernard is trying to take advantage of the fact that Noise hasn't got his Faust out.
Yeah.
And now there's a Jackson in the bin which he can rescue.
Yeah, definitely. Because that Jackson when you're going against noise, especially for the long game, you potentially see all three of your Jacksons going out of the game in order to sustain your entire strategy. Because noise is just so disruptive in the sense that you lose all your key cards sometimes, and you just can't help it.
I mean, it would be tempting to bring back the Jackson, but the question is like, of the choice of cards in the archives, maybe you don't want to Jackson them yet. But then if you install it and he trashes it, then where were you, right? Like,
yeah, that's value right there actually. But knowing that Jackson Howard is the bane of noise existence, or noise is the bane of Jackson Howard's existence, or likewise.
Yeah.
You definitely want to leave put the Jackson out and not let noise do whatever he wants to it.
Okay, so there's the install, I think. So he selected the card. Now he's deciding where he wants to put it. Must it be an ice? Could it be an ice?
We don't know.
An ice makes sense.
Yeah, but Bernard's really... you can see his exhaustion right here.
It's like, what do I do? Oh, okay, upgrade. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's why he was checking the ice. He's trying to see whether the upgrade can be defensively protected. Okay, then the Jackson comes up.
Brings Jackson back out. And he uses the first Jackson of the game.
Yeah. Oh, does that signal that maybe there was an agenda on top of the deck? That could be it.
Yeah, that could be it.
That's the power of Architect.
Yeah.
It could have been an agenda on top, and that's why he was taking so long to think, because he was considering his options, whether he wanted to install it or use Jackson to try and shuffle R&D.
And considering the stakes the stakes of the game right now, this is the finals. This is, I think, the finals of the entire tournament. So Bernard makes sure that he table shuffles and get that deck really nicely randomized every single time he has to do it, which might be a contributory factor to why this video is so long.
Which tells me there's probably two agendas on top of R&D. Okay, so access and
that was
another mental health gone.
Yeah. And that's one click, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was one click. Next click, Enigma.
Nice, and he loses his last click.
Yeah.
Really decent text there. He gets to keep him out, and because Hongqing seems to be on the offensive, trashing whatever he can.
He's got money right now, right? Noise in the late game doesn't really need money to function. The money is really only there for any PDs and trashing. But there was not much of an economic tax on RP that turn, to be honest, because the Sundews just come straight back. He can't get past the Enigma. The ice on the second Sundew is probably stronger, and if that's a caprice in that
Hongqing still hasn't gotten his adjusted chronotypes out yet, so he's running on 3 clicks.
He is running on 3 clicks,
which is a little bit of a hurt considering the tax that RP has on the runner's first clicks.
Yeah. Archives is ice now. It's probably a crit. I think Hongqing said to me one time when he plays against Bernard's RP, if there's an ice on Archives, it's a crit. If there's 2 ice on Archives, it's 2 crits.
If there are 3 ice, there are 3 kicks.
It's 2 crits and a pop, so something ridiculous.
Alright, but yeah, why would you not install a Krieg? I think Krieg is one of the most ridiculous cost to value ratios that Jinteki has access to, and especially cards like IDs like Replicating Perfection and Industrial Genomics. Yeah, they really make use. Jinteki just has a very unique way of adding value to the archives.
And we see that this turn, the turn before this, where it was Deja Vu 2 viruses, then install both viruses. Why Noise is such a good idea, right? Because he has that backup plan of let's disrupt the corpse play without having to spend money to attack the servers and spend money to trash.
Hey, I'll gain money while I'm at it.
Oh yeah, yes. Let's install cash.
And we see a Street Peddler coming out, and I think I think these variants of noise run very minimal events, so they're able to maximize the leverage of.
I believe the only events are deja vu.
Yeah. Why would you have any other events? Maybe Sure Gamble. Maybe.
I don't
Sure
really
Gamble.
think Sure Gamble is good in noise because very often you might not find yourself with 5 credits. Noise has a lot of money right now because he's had 2 daily casts and 2 cash installs. But if for example, if you didn't find your Aesops and you didn't find your daily casts, you might not have 5 credits. I don't actually like Sure Gamble in a lot of an-out builds.
So he's heading into HQ right now because I think he wants to check that single advance card.
Okay.
So he reses the Eli, and now HQ has to make a decision.
Yeah, I don't know that you double click actually because you just bounce and you move on to the next one. Oh, is that gonna be a fast? Is that gonna be a fast? No? Okay, no. But I do love Street Peddler for that. I love Street Peddler for like the hidden information aspect of the runner's game, right? Because the runner usually can't do hidden information at all.
It reminds me of a certain of a certain card type that I saw recently, that I discovered recently in the old Netrunner CCG. The runners have hidden resources where they have to play them face down.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
It's funny that we actually haven't seen something like that, but I think Street Peddler harkens back to that style of play.
That makes sense.
So yeah, the Street Peddler, because of the trash they use, costs, you're able to activate it at almost every given opportunity in the game. Okay, and he gets a NAPD out.
And you see how important now to RP those Sundews actually are, because he was down so low on money. If Noise had somehow managed to trash those Sundews, there's no way he could have had the resources to res an Eli, a Lotus Field, and score an NEPD in the same turn.
Yeah. But that's Sundew for you.
That's Sundew for you.
And that's the first score of the game.
Unfortunate that it's an NAPD, but that signals to me that there's probably either nothing else, or he was afraid that maybe Noise could get in. Although looking at Noise's money levels, right, if he had managed to get in, he would have been able to steal the NAPD regardless. So that probably tells me that RP doesn't have any other agendas worth scoring at that moment in time.
That's true.
Which leads me to wonder, what is that upgrade on the Sundew server?
It's replicating perfection. It's always a Caprice Nice. Okay, and he
the Grimoire.
installs the Grimoire, which means that he's going to be installing a couple more viruses this turn.
Yeah, that does signal that, doesn't it?
Yeah, Deja Vu. Get back all those lovelies.
Parasite.
Getting a Parasite out
Cash.
and a Cash.
So the next 2 clicks are going to be install Parasite, install Cash, right? Right?
Of course. And with the 2 installs, 2 mills, and that Enigma's going down next turn.
Yeah, it is. Oh, no, not 2 installs, just 1 install. I wonder what his other click was.
I think he didn't have another click. He only had 3 clicks.
No, I mean, well, the first click was Deja, second click Parasite.
Parasite.
Did he draw a card? Or did he install Street Peddler? Was it this turn he installed Street Peddler? Can't remember. Okay, yeah.
I think it was this turn.
Yeah, so that confirms it. There are no Nises. But there's a lot of ice that Noise doesn't want to see.
A pretty good reveal that Bernard did for the sake of the celebrity gift. Yeah.
Not
so I
reinstall.
I anticipate that's going to be a toe move because you just want to tax the hell out of the runner.
I don't think so. I think he might save the Tobu for the scoring server. That might be the Suzuki or the Wall of Static, just to force Noise to find another solution. But it could be the Tobu. I mean, it really could, because unless you just... I need this Sundew to stay up for the entire game.
And additionally, he might toss that Sundew, because Bernard is not too attached to the Sundews. He does toss them whenever he feels like he needs to.
There could be any number of agendas in archives now, by the way. I feel like he might be waiting for Noise to try and check archives. Then he can crick out, assuming that's a crick. It's probably a crick. Then he can crick out the agenda into the server of his choice, the one with the Caprice slash Ash in it.
Slash Marcus Batty.
Slash Marcus. I don't know. Marcus Batty seems a bit
Slash Cyberdex Virus Suite.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point. That could be the Cyberdex Virus Suite that he's just like waiting to trigger at the correct moment.
It's funny how Noise installs tons of virus, but right now he just couldn't care less about virus counters.
Yeah. Virus counter heavy is not really the style of Noise play that we see at the moment.
And so Bernard installs and advances. That might be the NAPD that he showed out earlier.
Yeah, or it could be the Nisei that he just top decked. It's very interesting to me that he's protecting HQ so heavily.
And he's gotten all three of his street peddlers out. That's very good. He's got everything right. He's got everything at his disposal right now.
Yeah, I think he might be banking on the fact that he hasn't seen Mimic. Okay, there's a check. Oh, it's just a pub.
It's just a pub.
Just a pub. Does that mean that there's going to be agendas in archives? Because I don't see any possibility for there being a Jackson Howard.
Yeah, there isn't. There is.
There's one.
An NAPD. Well, fair trade. See, when you mill enough cards, you do see an agenda eventually.
And there was another Jackson and a Caprice Nisei in there. Some seriously,
and finally he brings
some really high value Noise mills.
And he finally brings a Faust out. So man. Now it's party time.
Yeah, that Faust was off the third Street Peddler. Right. So you can see Street Peddler really proving its value right there.
Street Peddler is valuable everywhere, except if you're playing an event heavy deck. Then yeah, that just sucks. And so he steals 2 NAPDs in one turn. That's going to take a hit to his economy. 8 credits in total.
This tells me that HQ has more agendas in there, because if you know that there's an NAPD in archives that you can't rescue, right?
But he has that phylotic entanglement.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he can afford to let Noise touch the phylotic. Right.
You never want to lose phylotic entanglement no matter who you are. No matter what ID you're playing. That card is just too good, and it's well balanced the fact that you can only include 1 copy in your deck. But I think he needs the Jackson Howard to quickly get his entire board state set up.
You look at how much money RP has, and it just doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because Noise can just wreck you. I really feel like if that's a Caprice Nisei in that Sundew server, actually I feel like it's not. If it was a Caprice Nisei in that Sundew server, RP would have used it by now, right, to try and score out the NAPD. So that's probably a CVS, like you said. It's probably not a defensive upgrade that will allow him to score agendas. Otherwise, he would have used it by now. He's got 23 credits. He doesn't need his Sundew to stay out that long.
And there's again, back to what you mentioned at the start of the video. It's a testament to how well each player manages their cards. You can see everything so clearly, and Hongqing just uses that out of the rulebook runner setup. Programs in front, hardware second, and resources way at the back. Yeah, and agendas right to the side.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned the rulebook setup, right? Because if you go and look back at your Netrunner rulebook, the score area is actually behind and to the right of the archives.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, it's behind and to the right of archives, but nobody puts it there, right? Everybody puts it in front, right? And usually the agendas are facing each other, right? As we see right now, the both sides' agendas are next to each other, so that it's a very clear to both players what the score level is right now.
Oh, it's interesting. That's a daily business show. So he's able to get through any form of lock on R&D and draw into his pieces faster into the cards that he needs.
He needs Caprice Nice, and he needs to score an agenda. Right?
He needs to score Nisei Mark II.
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
If he can score a Nisei Mark II, I think he can lock up this game. If he has a Caprice the remote and a Nisei counter, he can just go install advance on a future perfect. And
but that said, HQ already has an imp out, so he's planning to capitalize on that quite soon.
yeah, in my opinion, trash daily business show. I feel like daily business show is one of those cards that if you leave it up for any decent amount of time, you will
just
probably
must
just
get
lose
rid of daily business show. It can't live. It jeopardizes games.
Yeah, I've watched games where the runner has left daily business show for 8, 10, 12 turns, and I'm just screaming inside. It's like, trash it! Why aren't you trashing it? Because, okay, RP's biggest weakness is that it's a slow deck, right?
Yep.
If you outpace it, you can probably, like, steal a lot of points off it and win. Like we're seeing Noise do now. Noise is just disrupting RP to the point where he managed to get 4 points off him. Right?
Yeah.
And Daily Business Show makes RP faster. Don't let them have Daily Business Show. It's 2 cards and an imp counter to go in and trash it. I would do it. Oh, here we go. What is this?
Okay, so he's getting out that Sundew and he's single advance.
Oh wow.
What is that?
Is that a Nisei? Has that been a Nisei all this time? Caprice Nisei, sorry, not Nisei Mark II, the upgrade in the remote. Now he's considering his third click.
Well, it could be Caprice Nisei and Caprice Nisei. It could be Caprice Nisei Mark 1 and 2 in that server right now.
No, I think you wait, hang on.
Oh yeah, because Mark 2 is the agenda and Caprice Nisei, the original one, is Mark 1 if you follow the
sorry, I'm mistaken. I'm mistaken, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't very clear on that. No worries.
Okay. No, you were perfectly clear. It's just that I was trying to remember if Caprice Nisei was a Mark 1 or a Mark 2 model. I couldn't remember.
I'm just one of those players with too much time on their hands and bothers reading
the wiki, right? Yeah. I mean, I read the wiki too. I just couldn't remember right away. Okay, so, oh man, game is on now. I think RP must be really confident that they can score that agenda, otherwise they wouldn't install advance. There's no way it's an NAPD, right? All 3 NAPDs are on the table. If it's an install advance,
we know that he has a Philotic in hand, but there doesn't seem to be a benefit for him to score that out, or for him to leave that to be stolen.
No, it's still in his hand. I saw it.
Yeah,
it's still in his hand.
So it's safe to assume that is, in fact, an Nisei.
Oh man.
So HQ's on his last click right now. So if he doesn't get in, that's gonna be trouble.
Oh, Ashigaru.
That's
a solid ice.
Yeah, that's one of the ices that we see. That we don't see that often, but it just makes absolute sense in RP. Ashigaru. And it's gonna hurt for
Faust.
It's gonna hurt for Faust to use. Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if Faust can get in. I mean, Faust can get in, then he has to win a side game.
Yeah, then...
Is it worth losing these cards? Okay, yeah, he's going for it. 2 data sucker counters.
And he's tossing 5 cards.
Yeah, no, 4 cards. There's 4 subroutines.
Oh yeah, it's 4 subroutines. But that's plenty too.
He started the turn with 7. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Because
Corroder.
Hashtag just noise things, right?
Yeah. There's a Corroder, but I think Faust and Data Sucker is probably a better way to deal with.
He doesn't want to spend too much time installing breakers and things like that because that's going to slow down his mill ability. And so he gets through. And now
it's side game time. If he steals the Mark II, it's not the game is not over, but I feel like the game is over, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, in a way you want to try your best to keep the Mark II and score it out because that one token compresses everything in a turn endlessly. Is like
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can hear both players, despite the fact that HQ has already passed the ice, but he's so tense that he doesn't realize that it's time to sigh.
Oh man.
Yeah, and Bernard's laughing out loud right now,
It's like,
saying like,
oh yeah, side game, huh?
yeah, like do it now, do it.
That's Bernard's magic dice, his lucky dice.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, I asked him once, like, do you have any advice for the side game? He said, yeah, get a lucky dice, get a magic dice like me.
Because you don't want to
2-0.
Oh,
2-0.
nice,
Oh man.
lovely. And that's Caprice Nisei.
I would have bid 1 as the runner there. I felt like that was a 1. But to be honest, I didn't think about it too hard. So it's very
You
different
don't
when you're
want to
in
think
the
about
game.
it too hard, yeah. And so the daily business show draw, and we know what this.
That was a very
next turn
quick
is gonna
decision,
be.
so it's obvious like, no,
Triple
I don't want
advance
that.
into
You say,
Nisei. Lovely, and now as a result, I think Bernard's got a pretty good handle on this on his board state right now with that 1 counter.
now
He put a 6 dice on that counter, so he's he tried to bluff out 6 end around counters, maybe.
nah, I think he just threw it on. It's like, that's my counter on that. No, my question now is, as Noise, right? Do you?
Yeah, he realizes it and he switches it to.
Okay.
And you can hear everyone making fun of him. It's like, hey, that's not 6 counters.
So the question now, okay.
Yep.
Does Noise try and go in to trash Caprice? I think the answer is no, because if you win the side game, then you'll just Nisei counter you, and you'll have wasted all your cards, your Faust cards to try and get in. And Noise's stack is looking pretty thin right now.
But I think HQ has because Ashigaru is not particularly strong ice, so yeah, he gets a mimic out, and I think HQ's trying his best to maybe kill the Ashigaru with a parasite, because that's the best thing that you could do. You kill the Ashigaru and you pound that Caprice server, and you pound that Caprice server pretty hard and try to get it out.
Yeah. Okay, so just in case viewers missed what happened there, it was install Mimic, run R&D, then clone chip off the Street Peddler into a medium.
And now it's a medium run.
Yes,
and
2 cards. It's 2 cards. Is there going to be a future perfect?
Yeah, now that Architect's no longer a problem for him, now that he can mimic through it.
Now this is where the over defense of HQ might be a problem for RP.
Sees an ice and sees.
Was that an agenda? Oh, I guess not. I guess not. Oh, is it? Are they doing Psy? Is it future perfect?
I don't know. I think it was an agenda. It looked like an agenda.
It looked like an agenda, right? But then they put it down and I was confused. It might be future perfect.
And now both players are deliberating.
Yeah. I think it's a future perfect. There's a future perfect for the game. Yes.
Yep, it's a future perfect, and there goes another side game.
Yeah, come on. 0-1.
Okay, that wasn't that nice.
But now it's been trashed. It's been imped. Right, let's imp the future perfect. Now it's in archives.
Was that the future perfect though?
It must be. I mean, they played the side game for it.
Okay, and he imps a future perfect, and now Bernard has just 1 piece of ice on top of R&D.
Oh no. But Noise has 1 credit. Noise can't go in and get it unless he's willing to take net damage. Which, okay, fine, I might take net damage, but oh man, that's really rough. Oh, it's going again.
It's alright. You just leave the future perfects there. Because you have to play the side game even while you're in. Oh no, I think he's
no, he's going into R&D again. He's going to R&D again.
R&D.
Yeah.
Alright.
You can see 3 cards, so nothing.
1, 2.
No.
We can't see it. They're off camera, and he doesn't see anything of value there.
Yeah. No agendas. Which I guess RP is really, really grateful for, because oh man, we stole another Nisei and there's a future perfect in the bin. There's a Jackson Howard in the bin, right? And he needs a Jackson Howard to get the Future Perfect out of there.
Well, on the bright side, the daily business show does allow him to get past that lock
No, it
a
doesn't actually.
little.
It's really dangerous because now he's taking off the top two
Fresh
cards.
cards, yeah. He needs to get his crick out fast.
Yeah, that's the other option, right? If you have a crit, you can stick the crit on, but then crit can be broken. So that's really risky, right? I mean, crit is super powerful, but it can still be broken.
Yeah, it's not so. I don't think it's so much of the whether or not it can be broken, but it's extremely expensive to break it, especially with the setup that Noise has right now. So, okay, he's just installing. It's installing one ice over RD, and it's installing a card onto the Caprice server.
This is the epitome of risk here, right? Because you just have to go for the fact that you have to.
Yeah, because
you have to just rely on the side game to save your butt, and this is what I think.
I felt that.
Sorry, please continue.
Yeah, sorry.
This is why I feel the side game is a good addition to Netrunner, because otherwise it would just be a question of math and efficiency, right? Side game introduces this element of uncertainty and tension and risk. And yeah, some people don't like it because they want to be absolutely in control of every aspect of the game at all times, but then why are you playing a card game?
But then it sure beats the hell out of using dice.
Oh yeah. It's like, can you imagine if the side game was a dice roll? Like literally like roll the dice. If even steal this agenda. No, that would be bad game design. But the fact that it costs credits, oh there you go.
And he's dropping a second pop onto the archives. It's really taxing right now because Noise is a little short on. I think both players are short on credits.
Not just credits, but I think any form of resource.
Yeah, Noise is running low, and well, I felt the last turn, last runner's turn that Hongqing managed to pressure many servers just so efficiently.
Oh, there you go.
Good. And you got the Jackson Howard out.
Yeah, you made Noise waste the run. So that was really close for RP. I think he must have gotten the Jackson Howard off the daily business show. Right, otherwise he would have been installed before this, surely.
Yeah, it's a scary proposition for Noise to draw into his entire deck and eventually see that Hades shard, which the Hades shard is just gonna screw RP's day.
There's another Caprice in archives. There's all the Caprices in the game, and
two Caprices and one is out.
Yeah, so there's no more Nisei.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I don't think that RP rescued the last Jackson Howard. He chose to get an Architect instead. Unless the face down card was Jackson Howard, because he shuffled in a face down card, right? That could be Jackson Howard. But no, that can't be it because Noise ran archives earlier and he saw Jackson. That's how we know there's a Jackson. So there's no more Jacksons in this game. There's no more Caprices in this game. It's all down to what's on the board, what's in R&D, and what's in the hand. But there's no more recursion.
And we haven't seen a Hades shard yet, and a pretty decent rest by
RP
Bernard right there. Yeah, getting that toe boof out to make sure that he locks Noise out unless Noise absolutely gets tons of money. But he's gonna see 4 cards, and that's not a bad trade.
No, it's not.
But that Caprice Nisei sitting out behind the Ashigaru is really threatening. It's gonna cause a lot of chaos later on, I feel.
Notice that RP is on 1 credit. Even after having Sandu for the entire game, they're still down to 1 credit.
It's an expensive deck to play, man.
Yeah, which is why I prioritize trashing their money, and which is why Bernard always prioritizes defending his money.
Yeah, defending his drip economy.
Oh man, this game is brutal. You can see like the margins are razor thin, right? There's a Philotic in hand. Philotic has been shown so many times in hand. It's just that Noise can't get in efficiently, and his deck is really running low. He's got maybe less than 5 cards in his deck right now, so every Faust matters. Every usage of Faust matters. I don't think that he can even afford to Faust the Ashigaru at this point.
Yeah, he can't. I think Ashigaru is going to be too heavy attacks on the runner's resources, especially his deck and his hand. Yeah, they're not looking too good right now, and we probably believe that Noise is not running any Levi AR lab access.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so the Faust is eventually going to become redundant.
There was also a virus purge. All the virus counters are gone. Yeah, so see here, RP asking how many cards does Noise have left, because it's down to single card, single credit. That's how this game matters right now.
Yeah, precisely. I think it was a pretty high octane just now, and now it's slowed down to a crawl. But this is where the tension really lies.
This is late game. This is late game for both players, and I think that RP has the slight edge in this matchup, with the possibility, of course, that you lose a side game and then that's it lah.
With the Caprice Nisei token, he's much more secure right now, I feel.
Oh, you mean the Nisei Mark II? Yeah. I feel.
Yeah, sorry, the Nisei Mark II. Oh, it's so confusing.
Yeah, the Mark II token. Yeah. I really. Oh man, this is so tough for the runner. Like, because if it were me, right, I would like to try and drain the Nisei token and try and trash Caprice so that the corp doesn't have a secure server to score out from. But that's so difficult to do. That's so difficult to do, especially now that you're running Faust, right? And you have no other good way through Ashigaru besides Parasite. And now you've just lost all your data sucker counters. There's no central server which is easy to get in.
He might convert all of that into money, and who knows if he, could you remember if he has another clone chip left? Because that Corroder looks pretty good right now.
Oh yeah, Corroder is starting to look a little good right now, right? You can just click for credits and try and access that way.
Yeah, why click for credits? You could sell the files, sell the imp, and sell the cash.
No, but what I'm saying is that if it comes to it, right, if you've got nothing else to sell, you just click for credits and run, and win a side game that way.
Yeah, but let us remember that RP's deck is getting really low, and that's the death counter right there.
Yeah, the clock is on RP to try and win this game. Right. I really feel like even though RP is in a strong position, they're also slightly on the back foot because Noise is saying like, hey, I could just install like 3 more viruses and you lose. You can see that the corp is really thinking about what Noise has trashed, what Noise has got left, right? Because if you know a Noise build, Noise builds are fairly similar to each other, right? With the exception of maybe a couple of flex slots. So if you can see what's in the trash, you can make educated guesses about what's left, what's in the hand. Yeah, so you see, now we have daily business show. What's he going to do? Is he going to install advance? Is this going to be the game?
The tension is insane on this game right now. Each player's turns are taking a few minutes each, and they're really thinking about how they're going to, how they're going to set up their game plan.
Every click is game ending, potentially game ending.
But on Bernard's advantage, he has the on Bernard's for Bernard's benefit, he has the advantage of the Nisei counter and the fact that he only needs to install advance in order to trigger a run, in order to trigger a very.
There you go. There's a parasite.
Oh yeah, there goes the parasite, and Ashigaru's days are numbered now.
I remember standing here and Rocky said to me that there was a moment in time earlier in the game. I missed it too, but Rocky plays Noise as well, so he saw it. But there was a moment in time where Noise could have run archives to get data sucker tokens, and then immediately put the parasite down on Ashigaru and blown it up.
Hey, but who needs parasite? Who needs data sucker tokens when you can put 2 parasites on the Ashigaru?
Yeah, that's something else that blew my mind when I was watching this. It's like, oh my god, you can put 2 parasites on the same piece of ice? Yes, you can.
There's nothing in the game that says you can't.
No, you can't. It's not like
it's gravy.
It's not like
it's tasty.
It's not like Kaisa, right? Ashigaru is dead. Ashigaru is dead, man. Unless the corp commits to wiping virus counters every other turn.
No, that's just a horrible move right there.
That's not tenable. So either a CVS or abandon that scoring server. Oh man, that's really tough. That's really tough. But the thing is, even if Ashigaru is gone, you still have to win a side game. Right? In fact, you have to win 2 side games because there's an easy counter.
But we're just looking at how well Bernard controls his board state right now in the
Oh, there
sense
it
that
is. That's the third Jackson.
yeah, there goes the third Jackson, and now he's able to draw deep and get what he
There's
needs.
a Philotic. It's still there. I saw another agenda. I couldn't see what it was. There was at least one more agenda in HQ. Which actually, I think Bernard now is really worried about agendas in HQ because what tells me that is that he played the hedge fund. When you look at this board state, right? Why would you play the hedge fund? Because I need the credits to defend HQ.
But given the game that is eventually gonna time into this long, it's viable that you defend your HQ as best you can, because eventually cards are gonna flood your HQ is eventually gonna get flooded.
And
you can see this is the ultimate value right there. You have a Sundew that's hiding behind a single piece of ice that isn't rest for the entire game, and Bernard's just getting 2 credits a turn
forever.
for 2 clicks and 2 cards.
Forever, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that he's overdrawing with Jackson Howard tells me that Noise didn't manage to hit any agendas. Right? That they're not there, and he's trying to. Okay, here it is. What is
now
the
Parasite takes out the Ashigaru, and Caprice Nisei and Jackson Howard are just there for the killing.
He just Aesop's to our side because there are no more cards in the deck.
Of course. I mean, that's great, right? And then next you're gonna Aesop's the adjusted chronotype because there's no more clicks to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, it's so rough right now. Are there agendas in archives? That's a great question. Are there agendas in archives? There's the imp.
And it brings
you see
up
an imp install, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. Every mill could be the game right there.
Yeah, he can't afford to mill anymore, and he's getting back 2 face down cards. If it's not for the Jackson Howard, this game would have been over so long ago, because Noise is just killing it with all the mills.
Not Noise. RP, by the way, is using Jackson Howard right now because Noise is on 6 credits. He can't take the risk of Noise clicking for a credit and instantly installing a Hades shot.
Yeah, that is a great point. That is a great point right there, because he's drawn his entire deck. It's safe to assume that the Hades shot is in his hand.
Oh wait, he just showed him archives. Did he run archives? Is that why? Did we miss an archives run?
I think he showed him the face up cards.
No, but all the cards are face up now. He showed him the face downs. I think we might have missed an archives run.
How did that happen? He still has his credits, and he didn't lose them to the pub, and he didn't lose any cards from his hand.
I don't see a Hades shot in the heat. Oh, okay.
I get the feeling that the Hades shard is going to close the game if if the game goes to Hongqing, it's going to be because of a Hades shard.
Oh, but there's also not that many cards left. There's not that many cards left. Okay, it's running on Caprice. It's going to be a side game. A side game on an undefended Caprice server. I mean, technically, no ice on a Caprice Nisei. RP could still win the game off that, right? Just install advance. There it is. It's gone. He finally won one.
Yeah.
No more Caprice Nisei, that's it.
Loses Caprice Nisei, and now it's just a daily business show and a Sundew.
Neither of which are going to actually help you win the game. So now RP is in a lot of trouble.
The ice, I think in terms of his ice, he's going to have to decide. And yeah, Hongqing recognizes that, and he's trying to take out the Sundew.
Yeah, he's trying to take out the Sundew so that he can't res an Ashigaru.
He's letting the wall of static fly, so that wall of static has done its job. Oh my goodness, the tension!
Oh man, it's gonna be over one way or another, right? I mean, if RP had kept that Nisei up. If RP had kept that Nisei up, you could go for a desperation install advance. Right? And
that's not a great move.
It's not a great move, but at this point you've got 2 cards left in R&D. It may be the only move.
Yeah, but the Caprice Nisei didn't stay up, so there's that. And so now Bernard is trying to telegraph what cards are potentially in his hand and what threats could lie. He's
Oh, there
getting
you
rid
go.
of the daily business
Yeah,
show.
install advance. There it is.
Yeah, and
Oh, is it that Noise doesn't have enough cards to get into a Lotus Field twice? I think that's it. I think he's only got 3 cards in hand, so he can't get into a Lotus Field twice.
probably he's getting rid of the medium and he's getting just money right now.
Oh man, this is for the game. It's over this turn, win or lose. This is for the game right here. Oh my god. He can't get into the Lotus Field server.
But he's not. He's down 2 points, so that may be
It could be a bluff, right? It could be a Nisei.
It could be the Philotic.
Oh, it could be the Philotic. That's true. But then
Yeah.
but then RP wouldn't win the game.
Well, he has 6 cards left in R&D, so
Oh, okay.
he could stall a little more. Because that Philotic's going to take out some precious cards out of his hand, and I think at this point HQ can't afford to lose any cards because he loses leverage over all servers if he does.
He was willing to spend the 2 cards to kill the Nisei counter.
Mm-hmm.
So what does he do now? I think he has to hope
so
that it's not
Bernard-
future perfect. I think it's just to take a credit, hope it's not the future perfect. There it is.
And it's a future perfect, and there you go. The
Oh
game
my
goes to
God.
Bernard and a killer and
Oh my god.
one of the longest games we've had recorded on this tournament.
Oh man. I mean, can you imagine like Lotus Field is your savior in a Faust against a Faust build?
Hey, it did its job. He couldn't parasite it. He couldn't parasite the Lotus Field, and yeah, I guess that's all you needed, right, to make sure that it stayed up.
I think HQ just couldn't take the risk that he couldn't spend the 2 cards and be bluffed into a Nisei, right? And then he can't get. Then there's no way he can get through the Lotus Field server, and then RP instantly wins. I think he just had to take the chance that it was a bluff, that it was a bluff future perfect, that it wasn't a future perfect, and he was trying to be bluffed out with a Philotic or something. But that's what it is. The game really came down to I have to take this tiny risk.
It was the great manipulation of psychology on Bernard's part, and as well as the fact that HQ ran out of resources before Bernard did, and that made all the difference because they were dragging. This game really became a battle of attrition.
Yeah.
They were trying to slow each other down as much as possible,
Yeah.
or trying to speed each other's resource consumption up. But at the end of the day, I think RP came out on top.
I think there was also like you can see the effects of proper ice placement, right? Which ice goes where. Remember, because we were discussing like, oh, is that the Tobooth on the Sundew? And I was thinking maybe it's not. I don't feel like it could be because I feel like Tobooth is much stronger to lock a central or a remote server, you know. And it turned out that he saved it for R&D, and that locked up R&D for the rest of the game. Noise never went back into R&D after that.
And that was a great placement of 2 pups right there as well. We're looking at 2 pups that protect the server just entirely. Yeah, and Noise couldn't afford the money or the cards to get in often.
Yeah, of little tiny ice like pup, right? I mean, obviously, I think RP wishes those were cricks, but I think the cricks got milled. So sometimes you just have to make do with what you have, because that's the power of Noise, right? Noise will just disrupt your plan and never let you do exactly what you want to be able to do, which is why it's very risky to go with, oh, I need this 1 card to beat Noise. Actually, this RP might not be running Cyberdeck's Virus Suite at all. I never saw it, or it could be just in the last 6 cards of R&D, right? But if it was in HQ, I feel like it would have been installed just to protect from parasites, like instant speed parasites to kill key ice.
Yeah, that's a great point. But well, at the end of the day, these 2 players are great players, and in the end of the day, it came down to the very, like you said, razor-thin margins and managing that tiny risk.
Oh man, but it's not the end of the day yet, because now we're going to the finals.
That's going to be a game 6.
Yeah. So at the start of the game we were saying that Hongqing, we weren't sure whether Hongqing or Bernard was undefeated, but looking at it now, it was Hongqing who was undefeated. So this is his first loss in the top 8, and now we're going to go to game 6.
Yep. And we'll see you guys next time. This is Richard.
This is Calvin. Thank you for sticking with this incredibly long, incredibly tense match between two titans of Netrunner. Yeah, alright. See you guys.
Alright, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.